Vision is blocked by fear or unwillingness to see beyond what is. Allow what is possible. Take a single step toward what you can't imagine. Your joy will be immeasurable as you step out of your own way.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you, Leona, Mark, Susan, for your, participation in this video today.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled. We have a really interesting and important topic to discuss. It very much has to do with the message from Saint Germain that was just shown. It was the April 20th message, and also how that connects to the violet flame energy of the heart session for vision. So I had an experience with that session that I'd love to share with you all. And then I'm really anxious to hear your feedback on that and kind of how it resonates with you. So it was leading up to that date of April 20th, and I had been given kind of little suggestions by the guides about, and this is such a tangible thing, about rearranging the furniture in the healing space that I'm sitting in right now. And I had no interest in rearranging the furniture, which was very funny for me because I get all kinds of suggestions and things from the guides, and everybody knows my answer is typically okay, and I just move it. But this was just completely, in my mind, out of the question. There was no other way this room could work. Had no interest in it whatsoever. So in doing daily practices, I was guided to do the vision session. And so I started to do multiple days of that. And in the meantime, I was also aware that Saint Germain was going to give the message, the daily intention message for April 20th. But he wasn't giving me the message. It was just, I knew he was going to do this. So I was doing these days, consecutive days of the vision session. And one of the days, I was again hearing the suggestion about the room. I decided to, well, let me just get a tape measure. I went, got a tape measure, came in here and said, maybe, could work. And that was it. Walked out of the room, still with no thought of I was going to do this or that it would totally work. The next morning, I walk in here to conduct the daily practice for myself. And from the moment I walked in the door, I could see literally the changes, all right? The changes, the pieces moved around, things that were in the room, out of the room. It was amazing to me that all of a sudden I could see something that just days before I had, and I'm going to say really stubbornly insisted would not happen. I just was not interested in doing. And all of a sudden there it was. So in the next few minutes, I took in how, yeah, this was a very tangible kind of benign thing we're talking about. But I could see and feel just how much we can block ourselves from things that are so much more important than where this piece of furniture is sitting in the room. All right. And that it really was a message about so much more than furniture placement. And it was right after that Saint Germain then handed me the message for April 20th. All right. And because I had that understanding in that moment, the message meant so much to me. I could see myself in it, right? I could see that my unwillingness, in this example, it was total unwillingness to even consider something, had completely blocked my vision for something that could, very well be and would turn out to be lovely. So I was wanting to have all of you with me today to kind of discuss that. All right. As I said, it was a kind of a silly little thing, but it seems to have so much more meaning in our lives. Don't we all kind of do this? Whether it's
I think we're all guilty of just seeing and accepting what we see right in front of us and not realizing there are other possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and accepting is one way to approach it, right? Okay, it is what it is, and I can't change it, right?
Right.
You can't change it, but actually, nothing is beyond us being able to change, right? Would you agree? The only limitations we have are the ones we place on ourselves.
Oh,
That's totally correct for me. Recently I was in a situation and I wasn't sure what to do, and one of my options was something I was not at all comfortable with. But after doing this practice, taking the first step, and I did it, and it helped things work out much better. I wasn't comfortable. I didn't think it was the right thing I should be doing, but I allowed that vision that I saw to lead me. And once I threw away the fear and allowed that, the steps kept illuminating in front of me.
Wow. So for you, Leona, it was, for me, it was just my stubbornness. In that example, for you, you were really dealing with fear, which is a
Yes.
pretty powerful feeling.
fear
Right?
of change. Yep. Fear of change.
Yes.
Mhm.
Fear is one of the stumbling blocks I tend to have. And that's why the vision session does help.
Mhm. I would imagine it because, well, throughout all the sessions, right, throughout the progression of all the sessions of the integrated treatment structure, we build on a lot of things, right? We heal wounds we need to heal to allow us to feel our own power. We make those divine connections that are, that are so important. And, kind of unleash what's always been inside of us.
Yes.
So,
I mean, the vision session for me just opened everything up. I mean, you realize there's more out there than what we see.
mhm,
That's
mhm,
a good
And the
point.
vision session opens that up.
mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. I was kind of amazed, though. I was grateful that they did such a tangible, example for me, to really get it. I was just simply amazed at how I was just completely blocking the possibility. It was there all the time. It's not that it wasn't there. It's just I was, refusing to see it.
To see it. Yeah.
To just see it. So really important. And I would guess that for the viewers, a lot of people must resonate with this, right?
Oh, yes.
Right? Wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
Okay. Leona, you just talked about fear, right?
Right. I feel that we all have an ego, and and our ego is our survival mechanism. So that's what stores fear, and that keeps us from moving forward. But when we do a session like this beautiful vision session, it helps kind of knock the fear aside. And it's almost like a gateway has opened and you walk through. And then when you hit another block or a fear, I've used the vision. It's like, all right, I did this, I got this far, I need more. And it helps push that fear away, because all the steps of this healing modality boils down to love. And when you're in a state of love, you cannot be in a state of fear at the same time.
Oh,
That's
good
correct.
Yeah.
And I think we're all, to a certain extent, afraid of the unknown. That's what holds us back. But when we can see that there are other possibilities and other things out there, it takes away that fear of the unknown. And you're right, love makes you unafraid. I mean, that's the bottom line.
I love the way Leona put it, that by doing the session, it opens up, and it opens your heart and your mind to see what's possible.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Susan, you just said it. You kind of defined what the practice, right? What the whole practice is all about, right? So it's really wonderful, and they are wonderful tools to have and to utilize. I hope that everyone viewing this kind of takes that moment to sit back and say, okay, how can I be kind of blocking myself from moving forward? What do you think are some signs that people can look for to know, are they kind of falling victim to this themselves?
I think you feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel stuck, you're just not allowing yourself to see other possibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Adding on to that, when you feel stuck, I personally start thinking over and over and over again about the same thing, but I don't change anything.
Mhm.
So it takes over my mind and parts of my life that I don't want to be in. But it just, like Mark said about being stuck, your brain starts being that hamster cycle.
Yeah.
Well, and the point that you're being stuck, if you're thinking that you're stuck, then you know you're stuck and you want to do something, but it's just the fear of, is it going to be worse than what I'm dealing with right now?
Yeah.
And that's why the session helps open it up and make you feel more comfortable that this is going to be a progression, not something bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, and remember in Saint Germain's message, what does he encourage us to do? Right? Take that first step towards something you can't imagine. Right. And that's all it is. It's that first step. And all of a sudden you realize, oh yeah, this may work. This may be possible. Or you find yourself maybe learning about something that you just never knew before, right? And it just puts a whole other perspective or maybe path that you might want to take. So really wonderful. I hope everyone just takes a moment. I'll show that message again at the end of the video so that we can really all think about it. Think about how we may be it either through fear or just, an unwillingness to consider something else, how we may be negatively impacting our lives. So, well, thank you all so much for this conversation. I think the viewers are going to find it very, very helpful. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Well, I know it's helpful. It's helpful for me to share things like that.
Mhm.
It
I
helps me
agree.
as much as the viewer.
Thank you, Pat.
Oh, thank you all. And so to the viewer, again, I hope that this is, kind of food for thought for you. You will see Saint Germain's message again. And also I'd like to show you the before and the after of the room. So you could see how that all turned out.
Can't wait.
Vision is blocked by fear or unwillingness to see beyond what is. Allow what is possible. Take a single step toward what you can't imagine. Your joy will be immeasurable as you step out of your own way.